Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. And today we're going to build up to our peak pose, which is camel. And if you cannot do a full camel, no worries. I will give different modifications and options for you to do. And we will go ahead and get started. So props today, I strongly recommend a bolster or strong pillow or cushion for some supported side bends we're going to do. This can also come in handy if you don't want to or don't have blocks to do a supported child's pose with the arms to get, the lymph and everything going in there. And maybe some folded blankets or another pillow, especially if you need knee cushion. Now I've got a knee injury here, got bursitis in this knee. So you will see me take a lot of knee cushion today. So always pay attention to your body. It is the best teacher, and we will get going. So sitting nice and comfortable, sitting nice and tall, growing from crown to tail. Let's zip up that front body, the slight tuck in the chin. And we'll breathe. Just taking some deep breaths here, nice and slow inhales, expanding that rib cage. And nice and slow exhales. Big inhale. Big exhale. Good. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, reach, reach overhead. Let's look up and look at those hands touching palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. So setting that intention for practice. So you can always come up with your own. The one that I'm going to give you today is patience. And that can go in many different directions. And once you have that set, big inhale, take the palms back overhead, turning palms away, growing taller from crown to tail as you bring those arms down. Good. So let's just do a little bit of a clearing breath here. Let's take a big inhale. Audibly let that out. And we'll do that again. Big inhale. And audibly let that out. Good. All right. From here, let's take a big inhale, arms up overhead. We'll take a side bend towards the left, sits bones grounded. Reach, reach, reach. And moving through center, take that right into the other side. Reach, reach, reach. And coming back up, coming back to center. Let's rotate towards the left. Arms are down, rolling the shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. Breathe and expand that rib cage. Inhale and lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale. Let's rotate, taking arms down, rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. Breathe and expand. And inhale and lift. And exhale, come to center. Get any little movement that would feel good to you. So maybe some big shoulder rolls would feel good. Some neck rolls or stretches would feel good. A wrist roll, a spinal roll. Do what feels good to your body. And when we're ready, we're going to find a real short child's pose here. So I am going to bring a blanket in here to cushion my knees for that one. All right. So knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. You can take the arms long in front of you or hands by the ankles. Find where you want to need here. And we'll start off with our patience affirmation by saying to ourselves, I am patient. I am patient. Don't worry about any other thoughts that might be creeping in. She's like, but I'm the most impatient person in the world. Ignore that. Just say to yourself, I am patient. Breathe and expand that rib cage. We're still zipping up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Good. Now from here, take the hands under the shoulders and we'll come back up. find a tabletop position. We're going to go into just some basic cat-cow. So we're loosening up the spine and the hips a little bit here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now really press the floor away, really round, round, round. Feel that stretch. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to take a longer child's pose here. So this is the one, if you want that arm support, you can bring it in. So I'm going to bring in blocks here. And I'm just going to do my blocks in the way that feels good for me. So for me, they feel better if I'm at a little bit of an angle here so that my arms can go out here. Okay. Sometimes my elbows want support, sometimes they don't. So that's just a daily bio-individual thing. If you don't have that, but you've got a lot of blankets, you can fold your blankets up and kind of fold it this way. And then you've got that little lift. It's a little bit of a softer surface, especially if you've got sensitive elbows. Another option is your bolster cushion can come forward and you can let things hang there. So this is also just an option too. If you're like, I don't like to support my arms for any reason in child's pose, well, that's okay. Don't do that. So from here, again, knees can be as wide as your mat or somewhere in between. Good. And I think my elbows are going to want support today. So I'm going to bring those in a little bit closer. We'll be here for a couple minutes. Breathe and expand. Now, I am patient. How about I am patient with my body? I am patient with my body. So for me, if you've got an injury, be patient with that. Patience to let your body heal at its speed and rate of healing. Breathe and expand. Good. So from here, and the way that's best for you, carefully come out of there. Good. And then I'm just going to kind of round that spine just a little bit here. And then I'm going to prepare for Sphinx. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way here. So some people in Sphinx or Seal like that little pelvic lift of a folded blanket. So if you want or need that, I'm going to use that today myself. Then you want your hip bone, your frontal hip bone here, to be right along that edge of the blanket or the cushion. Legs are going to be about hip width apart here. So I'm just going to run through a couple options. You've got Sphinx. Good. Where the elbows are over or behind the, that's wrong. Shoulders are over or behind the elbows. You'll come up here, shine the heart forward. You've also got Seal, which is this higher one up here. Okay. So be where you want to be there for a couple minutes. And I'm going to come up into Sphinx. That's the one I'm going to do. And I'm rolling my shoulders back no matter where you're going to go here. My belly button is in no matter where I'm going to go here. So I am patient. I am patient with my body. What about I am filled with patience and peace? I am filled with patience and peace. The belly button is still in here. Try not to hang in the shoulders. Try not to hang in the low back. No crunching in the back. Come out early if you need to. And then from here, we'll just come down. Make a little recovery pillow with your hands. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And just breathe here for a moment. Breathe in patience. Where I am filled with patience and peace. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully make your way up to a seat. I'm going to fold my blanket again here. I'm going to sit on it. All right. So we're going to do a half wide leg seated fold here, and then we'll take this into a twist. Grab the timer. Good. And then we will take this into a twist with arms for those of you that want to do that as well. So find an anterior tilt of the pelvis. So tailbone's going to rock back, hip bones are going to rock forward. I'm bringing my right foot into my thigh first. And again, so for example, here's my leg at the widest. We don't want it to be widest, so bring it in just a little bit from there. Hips are going to square forward. And when we're ready, big inhale and reach. Exhale, long spine, hinge from the hips coming forward. When you can come no more with that long spine, take your arms down. And your body will let you know over time when it's safe to fold in deeper. And you can always fill in this space with props as well. For the left leg, make sure toes, knees, and hips are facing the ceiling. Sometimes they like to turn inward on a fold. I am filled with patience and peace. I am filled with patience and peace. What about I am patient with myself? I am patient with myself. So we're patient with the body for healing the physical body, but what about patience with yourself, which goes beyond the physical body? From here, carefully walk up out of there. Good. And from here, we're going to prepare to take a twist. So we're going to rotate here and fold over. Some of you are going to do that. Those of you that want to get the shoulders a little bit more involved, take your arms out to the side, cross the right arm over the left. You can hug yourself or wrap yourself, and then we're going to twist and fold. So find what you need to do here. Good. We'll do this for a couple minutes. So wrap or no wrap. Good. Rotate to the left, fold to the left. Both hips stay grounded. Find a little bit more length in that spine if you can. It'll curve a little bit, but try not to come into a full C curve. Find a little length there. A little bit more relaxation on the right side. Patience. Good. Carefully come out of the fold. Come back center, undo arms if you took that, and just shake that all around. We're going to take that series to the other side now. So from here, your right leg is going to come out. The left foot is going to come into the right thigh. Good. Reset the spine here, anterior tilt if you need to do that. We're going to fold forward first. So whenever you're ready, big inhale. Come out a little bit wider. Exhale, hinge and fold. When you can come no more, take the arms down. Breathe and expand. I can take a breath or two or three when I feel impatient to bring in more patience. I can take a breath, a two or three, when I feel impatient to cultivate more patience. From here, when you're ready, carefully come up from there. Good. So same thing as before, you can leave the arms out of it and just rotate and fold or follow me. So this time arms are out. Left arm's going to be on top, right arm's going to be on the bottom. You can hug yourself or you can wrap. Let me get the timer started. Good. And then when we're ready, good. We're going to rotate and fold. And so I can take a breath or two or three when I feel impatient to cultivate patience. When I cultivate patience, I can have peace of mind. When I cultivate patience, I have peace of mind. Carefully come out of the fold, out of the twist, release the arms, and shake that out. We're going to take this into some supported side bends now. So I'm just going to take that here. All right. So I'm going to bring in my bolster. And I'm going to start by side lying on my right side first. And you can certainly sit up on a folded blanket if you want that, don't have to. Those of you that are taller, or maybe not necessarily taller, but you've got a long torso, you might like having a bolster and a blanket on top of it because you might like a little bit more height in order to really get in there. So we're lying on the right side. You're going to open up the left side. Okay. So I'm just going to take this over here because I don't need it. Now pull your bolster, your pillow, your blankets, whatever it is that you're going to use here, all the way up against your hip. Good. Knees can be bent to start, or you can have one leg out long. And then I'm just going to side bend, side lie over here. And then I'm going to take my top arm up and over. This is my side where I tend to cough because I hold a lot on the left side. So if I do that, I apologize. There it goes. Sorry about that. So you really want to think about breathing into this space. So something else that goes with patience and patience with self. I love my natural growth. I love my natural growth.
Now that I'm lying here, I think I forgot to give you a way to rig this. So if you don't have a bolster, so if you do have folded blankets and a couple blocks, just take those blocks vertical, kind of line them up like a line, like two bricks, and then take the blankets and stack them over that, and that will give you a little bit of lift as you side bend. You can also take some blankets and fold them up, like I showed you when we were doing the supported child's pose version. You can stack a blanket that way and get a little bit of lift. So always feel free to play with your props and see if you can find a way that makes them work for you. Good. Now from here, when you're ready, if your bottom hand came up and took the top hand, just release that. Let that arm come forward and back a little bit here. Good. Now from here, belly button's going to be in. We're going to take this into a stretch. Just open. So camel is a back bend, and that's what it's often thought of. But it's also a shoulder opener if you plan on taking your hands back towards your feet. And then we'll come back. We'll take that up and come off of there. Good. So from here, we're going to just take that to the other side now. So I'm just going to move my bolster over. And since I mentioned that little rigging part and forgot to show it to you, I will do that right here, actually. So if you have your blocks, you want to take your blocks this way, side by side, and then you would drape your blankets over that so you don't have a hard poking surface in your side. And you'll probably want more than one blanket if you're going to use that way, just to make that a lot more comfortable. So that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is you can take a blanket or two. You can always stack a whole bunch like this or fold it this way, and you can get that little lift there as well. So different things to do with what you have. Here. Good. So everything's in place. You're scooted up against, and when you're ready, we're just going to take that over. Good. Maybe top arm comes over, bottom arm. We're breathing into this area right here. So I love my natural growth. What about I allow time to pass with ease? Well, that takes patience, right? I allow time to pass with ease. Startled me a little bit there. Good. So carefully release that top hand. If the bottom hand grabbed it, arm is going to come up. Good. Belly button is in here. We're going to go into that opening and come back. And we'll open, just kind of get those movements in. And then we'll take that back and hold it there for a moment. And coming back center, coming up, and coming back to a seat. Good. All right, let's take this into caterpillar. Camel is a deep back bend, and that will feel a lot better if we've had a deep forward fold before. So I am going to move my bolster out of the way. I'm going to bring in another blanket here for me to sit on. You do not have to sit on a blanket, but some people like it. Okay. I'll sit more back here. Okay. Okay. And legs can be forward, they can be together, they can be a little bit wider. If you need to have a prop or something here for support, feel free to do that. Find that interior tilt of the pelvis. So tailbone's going to come back, hip bones are going to come forward. Feet are in flexion, so toes are towards the face. Good. Let's start here. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, hinge forward first with a long spine, and then let yourself round. Now, it doesn't have to be your maximum, and if you're reaching for anything, remember, it's a light grip, not a death grip. Breathe into this back body right here. As long as it's safe for you to do so, you can sink in deeper with exhales. Your body will let you know if it wants to do that or not. So I am patient. I am patient with myself. I am patient with my body. I can take a breath, 2 or 3, when I start to feel impatient in order to cultivate patience. By cultivating patience, I can have peace of mind. And from here, when you're ready, low back's going to be a little vulnerable, so carefully come out of there. Good. And once you're out of there, just do a gentle rotation to one side and a gentle rotation to the other side. We need to do that again, do so. I am filled with patience and peace. And when we're ready, we're going to come into camel now. So I am going to cushion, cushion, cushion my knees. So I'm going to double blanket myself. So I've got one blanket here. And I'm going to take my second blanket. Good. Now I'm going to give you a couple options, or more than a couple, a few options here. This one is done on the knees. So you've got the option to be up here. Pull those pants up. Good. To be up here, hips forward. We're done with the hips back, hips forward, rolling the shoulders back, hands on the hips, and rolling the shoulders back here. Maybe that's your camel today. Okay. You can do a half camel by coming back onto a block like that, or coming back to the ankle or the heel, or you can do the full camel, which is the one I'm going to demo. So, and we only really want to do this for 1 minute. So, good. And whenever we're ready, good. Big inhale, hips forward, roll the shoulders back to the hips, to the blocks, to the ankles. Find yours, where you're going to take it. Hips are forward, wherever you're taking it. Belly button is in. Breathe. Find that patience. Patience with yourself. Patience with the pose. Good. Nodding that chin, looking forward. Find a child's pose. Encounter that for a moment. When you feel good, carefully come back up, and we're going to come onto our back. So I'm going to move these blankets out of the way here. I'm going to take my head in that direction. So I'm going to go ahead and put a blanket down at that end for a neck pillow. When we come to Shavasana, then it's there for me. And I'm going to fold this other one up. Good. And just place it to the side. Okay. Coming onto our backs here. And you can even have a neck pillow from just laying here, because we're not going to go into any inversions here. But we are going to go to a figure four, getting into those hips a little bit. So we're going to start. I'm going to take my right ankle over that left knee. For some of you, this is going to be it. Others, you can bring this in closer. So find yours. You can always rock a little bit here too, if that feels good to you. Good. So as we can continue to review things before I give you the last one, think about, I nurture myself with love and allow myself to flourish. I nurture myself with love and allow myself to flourish. Good. Now from here, if you took the figure four like this, take that foot down. We're going to take this into a figure four twist. However, if you know that that's not for you, come to a basic twist and twist over that way. Those of you following me with figure four, good. We're going to take this over. Good. 2 minutes. Looking to the right, breathe and expand. And from here, good. Carefully take that back to center, undo the legs, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Let the low back reset itself. And then we're going to take figure 4 on the other side. So now your left ankle is going to cross over right knee. This might be it for some of you. Or you can bring this in a little bit. Rock, rock, rocking. Good. And I have peace of mind. I have peace of mind. Good. And then from here, then we'll bring that back down. We're going to figure 4 twist or get a regular twist to your left as we look to the right. Breathe and expand. Good. From here, when you're ready, carefully come back to center. Separate the feet. We're going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then take your knees into the chest. Now you can stay here or you can lift up and do a little full body hug here, but just rock a little bit. And then we're going to set ourselves up for Shavasana. So you can bring in any props here that you would like that would feel good to you. So I like my bolster underneath my legs here. So I have tight hip flexors almost always, and it just kind of releases. And then I'm going to take my blanket, my folded blanket, and I'm going to place that right across my lap here, which is very grounding, that light little weight. And as you get settled in, excuse me, I'll leave you with this last little thought on patience. I honor the time it takes for everything to manifest. I honor the time it takes for everything to manifest. Begin by taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers and toes. Choose stillness, or if you took the lap blanket, move that out to the side. Knees can come into the chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded or lifted for a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props that are remaining out of your way that you may have used during Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex through the feet, bend and stretch through the hands, curling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto the right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here, but when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. We started our practice. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms back together, bringing them down to heart center. Reconnecting with that intention of patience or what you chose on your own one more time. And we'll take thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you always find a way to practice more patience. Namaste.